And boys, we're back here today with another Madden 25 video, and today we're in the lineup builder. Today we're going to go over who I think is the best card at every single position. Before we get into today's video, I do want to talk about our sponsor real quick, MMOEXP.com. If you guys want an alternative to buying packs, consider buying coins at MMOEXP and make sure to use code DILL at checkout for 5% off your order. Now we are going to get it started right here with quarterback, and sadly, me, myself included, I still don't have who I think is the best quarterback. I think it is Jayden Daniels now. After they buffed the rookie premieres a little bit, gave him a little bit extra stats, I think Jayden Daniels is basically like just a way better version of Lamar because they have the same release. And also Jayden Daniels doesn't get like bad high route animations either. He's 84 speed, 84 throw power, and hits 80 for every single accuracy. I just love the speed. The throw power isn't the highest in the game, but it's still very much top end. Now, if you're someone like me and you still haven't gotten your rookie premieres, the next best quarterback in my opinion is Josh Allen. Josh Allen does have a little bit better throw power as well, so I could see a world where you like Josh Allen over Jayden Daniels anyway, but if I had my rookie premieres, I'd be rocking Jayden Daniels. Now we're gonna move the running back right here, and running back, I think it is the vintage champion Chris Johnson. The difference between the vintage card and just his base card, of course, is the X factor. This is on for one more play, and it's also one less AP. So the reason why I love this Chris Johnson card is his high spin move rating, and with that high spin move on all Madden, this card is absolutely broken. And even on all pro, he has 87 speed, 86 acceleration, and of course can get that pre-lit evasive. But again, the main thing for me is this dude's spin move on all Madden. I think it's absolutely broken, so that's why he's running back one in my opinion. Now fullback's a relatively easy one as well. Now would I spend 200k on CJ Ham? Probably not, but he is the best fullback in my opinion. 82 speed, 85 run block, 86 lead block on CJ Ham. Now we got to talk about receiver, and receiver was one that was really close. At wide receiver one, who I think is the best is Chad Johnson, or Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson, whatever you want to call him. Now, this card has 86 speed and good route runnings across the board, but what I really think separates Chad, right, isn't really anything to do with like the route runnings. It's the fact that he can also spin on all Madden just like Chris Johnson. Like, this card is pretty crazy after the catch. That's why I'm so high on him. And at wide receiver two right here, I am still going to have Randy Moss. Randy Moss doesn't get like the craziest spin animation, but I think it's just a base receiver. He just plays phenomenal, and he's 6'4", 86 speed with 85 for deep route running as well. Hits that like next threshold for deep route running. So I love the height, love the speed, love the deep route running on Randy Moss. And wide receiver three was really close, man. I mean, we have new Steve Smith. I don't love the shorter receivers. This is kind of more of a preference thing. Also, Steve Smith's card as well, he isn't crazy after the catch with like a high spin move, so that's another reason he didn't make it for me. Nico Collins isn't a bad receiver. Ayuk is super underrated, I think. Amari Cooper, I gave a little bit of consideration. I mean, Tyreek Hill's fast, Christian Watson, the big body, but who I ended up deciding on was, again, a card that I can't get, Rome Odunze. So Rome Odunze, 6'3" height, 85 speed, 85 short route running this time. He can also get every single team chem, which I don't really factor in theme team for these rankings, but every single team chem, you could potentially get him up to 87 speed if you do like one theme team, then like a Bears theme team. And he's even more crazy, but realistically, 86 speed Rome Odunze, great receiver in the game. One edit that I need to make, because we're going to drop down everyone a single spot at the receiver spot. My bad on this. I completely forgot about Hines Ward field pass card. He needs to be here. So upgrade to the 85. This card is phenomenal as well. 86 speed, gets every single team chem, good route runnings as well. And this is a card that can get that Quinshon Judkins or now the CJ 2K spin as well. So he definitely needs to be here. And now we're going to go up to tight end right here. And man, tight end is tough. It's a two-man race in my opinion. It's either David Njoku or Sam Laporta, right? And if we just compare the two cards, Njoku has him slightly in the speed category. Laporta hits that 85 tier route running. And I mean, they're very similar cards. I'm going to give the slight nod to Njoku just because of the one speed, but I could see you saying Laporta and I don't hate it. Offensive line at the starting left tackle, we're going to have Willie Roaf. One cool thing about him is he boosts every legend player with +1 catching, but also just had the best balance of run block, pass block finesse, pass block power, 84 run block, 83 pass block finesse, 87 pass block power. And someone that I would say to get as a backup is Ronnie Stanley, because this is another card that does give a motivator chem as well. He gives all left tackles +1 strength, which I mean, a motivator chem is a motivator chem, right? We'll take it. But also, if you don't really care about the motivators, this is another spot where just go JC Latham. I mean, if you have the rookie premiere, just go him. I don't think Roaf or Stanley are worth their price, especially when you could potentially get Latham for free, but technically with the motivator chem, I'm going to say they are the best. Now, moving over to left guard right here, gonna have Graham Glasgow, just again, the best balance balance of pass block finesse, run block, pass block power. Compare the two cards. So Frederick has 2 more pass block power. Ragnow has 5 more pass block finesse, and Frederick has 1 more run block. I just really like the fact that Ragnow had more pass block finesse from a rating standpoint. Frederick as well right here. He does give the motivator chem as well. The fact that Frederick gives +1 run block, I'm going to go him, even though I think Ragnow technically has better core ratings, and that will also go ahead and boost Willie Roaf by 1 run block. And at right guard right here, I'm going with another motivator chem. I'm going with Larry Little. Now, I also think he has really good stats. Like if we compare him to Zach Martin, right? He has 3 more pass block finesse, 2 more run block. The biggest worry for me with Larry Little is this right here, being 265. The fact that Larry Little is in fact little. But again, I think he can make up for it because the fact that gives every legend program player +1 tackle. It's a motivator chem. We'll take it. And then rounding out the offensive line right here, we are going to have Lane Johnson. Again, just think he had the best balance of pass block power, pass block finesse, and regular run block. And now this right here is what the offensive side of the ball is looking like. Let's get into the defense. And defense, we're going to go over secondary first, and free safety was actually very, very close. I mean, we have 3 cards that I think are deserving of mentions. We have Earl Thomas, we have Jalen Petrie, we have Melifonwu. I ended up settling on Melifonwu still as the best free safety. Now let's go one by one. And first off, let's compare him to Earl Thomas. So he is 1 speed point slower, that 85 tier for zone. I think Earl Thomas was the closest, but I went Melifonwu because he's what, 5 inches taller. And I think the argument for Earl Thomas is the man coverage, of course, hits that 80 level of man. But I think both of them are, their strong suits, of course, is going to be in that zone-based defense. Again, can see the argument for Earl Thomas, but I went Melifonwu. And really, besides Earl Thomas, I think Jalen Petrie also deserves a little bit of love too. Again, the reason why I went Melifonwu is the height, but Jalen Petrie also hits that 85 level of zone and 81 man, so I like Petrie a lot. For me, it goes Melifonwu, Earl Thomas, Petrie. Now it's strong safety right here. It's another 2-man race. It's either Ken Houston or Cam Chancellor. Comparing the 2 cards, right? They're both 6'3". Ken has 2 more acceleration. He has the better man. You could get him up to 85 zone. Cam Chancellor does have the hit power too, man. And I feel like Cam, for me, especially with the boom strat card, getting up to 98 hit power, it's very nice. Again, I think this is a toss-up. I will slightly give the nod to Ken Houston now. I still love Cam Chancellor. I do. For me, it's a little bit more of man coverage, and the fact that they're the same height too. I would take Ken Houston as an over-the-top player over Cam. I would take Cam in the box though, or more as a user defender. And now let's round out the secondary right here with corner. Corner was another super tough one because there's so many good options. Now at CB1, I'm going to have the new legend Mel Blount. Do I think he's worth this $2 mil price? Hell no, but he is 6'3". He has the height, 86 speed, 86 acceleration, 85 man coverage, 84 zone, 85 press. So this is going to be one of the most balanced secondary cards in the game. Getting him up to potentially both 85 man and 85 zone is really nice. And you could do that with a strategy card. It's not really that hard to do. Now, joining Mel Blount in the secondary is going to go ahead and be Richard Sherman for me. He's going to be my CB2. Now, I will say this depends on scheme a ton, because if you're running man coverage, this is not the corner for you. Like, you'll probably prefer someone like even Jalen Ramsey, Rasul Douglas. Like, there's a lot better man coverage options, but for a zone-based defense, give me Richard Sherman. And again, I love the height on the card, the 6'3", the 85 speed, and hits that 85 level of zone. I will say with Rasul, if you're able to get his man or his zone up to 90, he would be here quite easily. So at first, Rasul didn't make this list for me, but I'm going to add him to the list, and I think he can be CB2 if you run man, or if you want to mix up your coverage a little bit. I think Richard Sherman is better as a pure zone defender, but for the balance, and I kind of mentioned with Mel Blount, I think in a dream world, you'd have 2 corners that can do both. So we're going to move Rasul Douglas to CB2, and now that means CB3. Again, this still was a tough one for me. It came down to Revis Island and Cromartie. Man, was this a tough one, because I think you could objectively say Cromartie plays better, and I can see that argument, but I'm going with the vintage champion Darrelle Revis. And really, the whole reason for this is that universal coverage prelit X factor. There's really no other reason. If this card didn't get the universal prelit, I'd have Richard Sherman. I'd have like, he wouldn't even be on these guys' level, in my opinion. So yeah, we're gonna have Revis right here with that universal prelit, and I do like him in the slot, by the way, a lot. I think he's a good slot player, and this is someone that you can man up with the universal. You can put him in his zone. So I like Darrelle Revis being here at CB3. And again, honorable mention, I guess, now to Richard Sherman for a zone-based defense. Now let's talk about the front 7 right here, and we're gonna go over right outside linebacker first. And this one's a pretty easy one. LT is just simply like so fast, like 86 speed. I believe that's the same speed as Tyreek Hill and Xavier Worthy, and he's also also a beastly pass rusher too. Like, this card is just a problem. I feel like I don't have to over explain or spend a lot of time on LT. I think you guys get it. Now we're going to go to left outside linebacker right here, where we're going to have Dolphins great Jalen Phillips, another beastly pass rusher right here. And it should be mentioned, Dallas Turner is also really good too. Rookie premier card. You could have him right here. Jalen Phillips, 83 speed, 87 acceleration, 80 block shed, 80 power moves, 84 finesse moves. So I just liked his balance of stats across the board over Dallas Turner, who does beat him on block shed and power moves, but I like hitting the 80 for finesse moves as well. So I went Jalen Phillips over Dallas Turner. You can say Dolphins bias, whatever. But now middle linebacker right here. So middle linebacker one, I think is relatively easily Fred Warner. I mean, this card is elite. This is one of my favorite cards in the game. He's 6'3", 230, 85 speed, also hits 85 zone as well. There's a ton of linebackers in the game that have the speed, but man, there are not too many linebackers that have this zone coverage as well. Also can get the pre-lit avalanche. Again, this is one of my favorite cards in the game. Now, middle linebacker 2 is an interesting spot because Bobby Wagner's not making it for me, by the way. It's the 57. It's the 57 zone, and I think there's better pure users as him if we take out Theme Team. But besides Bobby Wagner, we have someone like Brian Urlacher that hits the 76 zone. He's 6'4", 84 speed. But then we have like a group of these team builder cards. Like, we'll use Divine Diablo as the example because I think he's the closest one. Divine Diablo is 6'3", 86 speed, 88 acceleration, but this time no zone coverage. So would you rather have Divine Diablo or would you rather have Brian Urlacher? A little bit of zone or just all out height and speed? I think it's how you use this card. Like, if you can guarantee, hey, I'm going to user this card every single play, I'd go Divine Diablo. But if you're in a defense like, say, big nickel over G or 4-3 over, where I like to go ahead and switch my user depending on like what the offense or what side the formation's on, right? Then I'd go someone like Brian Urlacher. So I am going to have Brian Urlacher as our middle linebacker too, but I think there's a good argument because it's not like he is the fastest in the game. I just like the height and also the 76 zone. The 76 zone, I don't think is going to be the world of difference between Divine Diablo. Also, again, the height on Urlacher, like pretty much your linebacker is going to be playing what, like hooks and also flats. So that's the reason why I'm going to go Urlacher. Now let's round out the front seven right here. We got right end. Right end, again, I think this is kind of an easy one. We're going with team builder Myles Garrett. I will say honorable mention to 84 Micah Parsons or even the 83 because of the speed, but Myles Garrett is literally like right there. The 84 has 84 speed for Micah. He also gets every single team chem, so could relatively easily get him up to 84 speed as well. 86 acceleration, 84 block shed, 87 power moves, 80 finesse moves. This Myles card is a beast. Now at left end right here, we are going to have Gauntlet Reward Montez Sweat. I know not everyone has this card, but 86 speed, 86 acceleration at a left end spot. Keep in mind, this is just as fast again as Tyreek Hill, Xavier Worthy. Like, that is just absolutely crazy. Defensive tackle is a spot where I really only like one card, and it's going to be Javon Hargrave. Besides Javon Hargrave, I think there isn't a DT on his level. He's 78 speed, 85 acceleration, this time 86 block shed. You're going to be like lower power moves. We'll talk about that in a second. Has 86 finesse moves. This card's traits help him out a ton. So the bull rush move is power moves. That trait is on no for him, and it means he's not going to use power moves. So he's only going to use that 86 finesse move rating, which if you remember what we were talking about with Frank Ragnow, most of the time the interior offensive linemen have lower pass block finesse. So I think this is a card that puts in work. And really for like a pure defensive tackle, I would still go Chris Jones number 2. I don't really like this Haloti Nada card, but besides Chris Jones, I mean, what I would realistically do is play Myles Garrett at DT. We'll remove Chris Jones right here, and then I'd go Micah Parsons. So this is what I think the D-line would look like, and I think Myles Garrett can play DT fine. So yeah, this is what the defense is looking like. Let's round out the special teams right here if you are curious. Punter, AJ Cole. Kicker, Justin Tucker. Bang. So yeah, they have the best kick power in the game. And yeah, boys, this is what the best card at every position is looking like for me in Madden 25 Ultimate Team. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with. Did I leave anyone off the list that should have been on? Let me know down below in the comments. But if you guys did enjoy this video, you enjoy content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, if you want to see me use some of these cards live on stream, been streaming here on both YouTube and Twitch almost every single day. To watch on the YouTube, make sure to hit that noti bell as well. You'll be notified every time I upload or go live here. Or if you want to watch on the Twitch, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with the follow. But if you guys do want another video to watch, check out this one right here.